Yes, what a night. Redemption, our very first pay-per-view here in Montreal. C'est très magnifique. All right, guys, let's get down to it. Please welcome our president and CEO of AEW, Tony Khan.
What a pay-per-view debut here in Montreal. Thank you, Renee.
Yes, what a beautiful evening.
I think so. I thought it was a great show. It's great to see all of you. And thank you for being here for the first ever AEW Redemption and the first ever AEW pay-per-view in Montreal. Thank you. Awesome.
Can we bring out our first guest? Do you want to get into it?
Yeah, let's do it, Renee.
This woman is unbelievable. We've all jumped on the Maya World bandwagon. She is now the new TBS champion. Please give it up for Maya World. Maya, well, yes, we got put them on display. It's a whole thing out here.
Oh my God.
How are you feeling? Have you soaked it up yet? Has it hit you?
You know, almost. I mean, I'm definitely going to go celebrate after this, but no, I mean, it has a little bit. I just keep seeing the graphic, and I'm like, that's insane. I can't believe that's me, you know? But, I mean, I'm just really grateful for everything. AEW is such a great place, and I'm just glad that, you know, Tony, you believed in me so much, and now I'm here, and I did it, and, you know, the future is now.
You made the most of all these opportunities, and you earned this. And congratulations to you, and happy birthday, Maya.
Happy birthday!
Thanks, guys. Yes, it is.
As much as I would love to sit here and pick your brain, I'm going to open up the floor to the media to ask any questions to Maya that you guys might have.
Groovy bro, screen out script. Hey Maya, congratulations first off.
Thanks.
Second, what do you think about, first off, having that match and that moment with Mercedes and very recently, and just shortly after, you're having this moment of winning a championship. What do you think that says about where you are in your career right now?
I mean, like Tony said, I just take every opportunity that I've been given and definitely, like, ran with it. And it's something that I always, like, prided myself with. Like, honestly, if I can bring her up, Athena, she honestly, like, prepared me for moments like this. Like, she didn't know what was going to happen for me or what was going to come for me, but she was like, these, like, you're good. These moments are going to come, so you have to be ready. So I just always, like I said, prided myself on, if there's an opportunity, take the ball, don't drop it, keep going, you know what I mean? And the Mercedes match definitely just elevated me, and that's just who she is. She elevates people, and it's kind of what she did for me, and here I am now, the TBS champion. So yeah, so excited.
Hi Maya, Davey Portman from Poison Rana. Yeah, it's been a wild month or so for you, and I'm sure emotions are all over the place, but one of the biggest events next month in Wembley, you're the TBS champion. Who would you like to face?
Oh, I get a choice?
We don't wait around here, girl. We
get
get
right to it. I'm like, okay, who would I like to face? I mean, I feel like my story with Athena isn't done. I would love to face Athena. But whoever, anybody can step up, you know what I mean? So, but Athena for sure.
Who else we got?
Here.
Good to see you. Very good.
Thanks, Renee.
Hi, Maya. Joel Pearl from Fightful and In the Weeds. A very simple question, a very easy question for you. Have you rewatched your match with Mercedes Moné?
I mean, somebody has to, you know what I mean? Oh yeah, many times. I tried not to at first. I wanted to stay in the moment. You know, I had a few, like, you know, things happen, so I was just like, I want to remember the moment for what it was, which was just a great match, a great, like, feeling afterwards. But I definitely have rewatched it a lot of times. Yeah, now I have at least.
What's your big takeaway?
You know, it feels like in the match I don't remember much because I was just like on go, and watching it back I'm like, oh, that was good. You know, I need to keep doing that one, but mostly just, wow, I was in there with my, you know, idol, and I'm here now. Like, I'm definitely not like just some little like fangirl anymore. Like, it's me. I'm Maya World now. I'm the new TBS champion. So I'm just stepping into my, like, you know, stardom, I guess.
Do one more.
Hi, Zach Ralph, Love Wrestling.
Hello.
Congratulations on your continued rise as a single star in AEW.
Thank you.
Are there ambitions in the tag team division alongside Hyan?
Of course, that's my yes, for sure. I love tag wrestling, and I'm so glad that honestly, I would never imagine I'd be signed as a tag wrestler, but me and her love it so much. We always are picking each other's brains on did you watch this? We send each other matches to watch, study, and I love tag wrestling, so definitely want to stay with my girl Hyan for sure.
What's the last tag match you guys sent each other?
Oh my gosh, a lot. I mean, there's these, I don't know if I can say who they were, but honestly, I don't. I know it's this indie. It was Sinner and Saint. I always watch.
I didn't
them
mean to
a
put
lot.
you on the spot. Sorry.
No, you're fine. Sinner and Saint are really good. I always talk about them whenever it comes to tag wrestling. So it was probably one of those.
Any more questions for Maya?
Hey, congratulations, Maya.
Thank you
Huge
so much.
congratulations.
Thank y'all. Thanks for having me.
Happy birthday.
Enjoy
Way to go.
celebrating. You deserve
Way
it.
to go, champ.
Celebrate it up, girl.
Way to go, champ. That's great.
All right, time to bring on Montreal's own. He is now the #1 contender to the International Championship. Please welcome Speedball Mike Bailey.
Let's go, Mike. Way to go, Mike. Way to go. Congratulations, Mike.
Thanks so much.
You did it.
Let's go, Mike.
Let's go. Thank you all so much for coming tonight.
I'm just going to have to ask the obvious. What did it mean to you to be able to achieve this here tonight in Montreal? Friends, family, all your people here.
So it goes so far beyond just getting to perform in the Bell Center for the first time, right? This is where I came to see wrestling as a child. The first wrestling show I ever saw was here, and I came throughout the years. So it was always obviously a huge dream to wrestle in the Bell Center, but this was such a huge night for many reasons, right? Not only was it a huge match, it was a huge victory, and getting to challenge for the International Championship means a lot. Not only huge reception, huge victory, hometown crowd. In fact, so my mother tonight was in the audience, and I've been wrestling for 20 years, and this was the first time she ever came to see me wrestle at a show. Which is, silly, but it's a huge deal. The reception from the crowd, I've been hearing all week, people are going to be really excited to see you, and I really didn't expect it to be this much, nearly to the level that it was, just as I came out, before I even did anything, and I really felt that. And even throughout the night, it was wonderful. During the main event, which, by the way, I'm still very proud that this was the main event on this show, right? Kevin getting the Speedballs better chant, which makes me very happy, but I don't entirely believe. I still think, I thought it when we were Jet Speed. I think Kevin is going to be known as the greatest pro wrestler in the world, and then I'm hoping that I'll beat him then, and then it'll just be us playing catch up together until then. I think we were such a great tag team as Jet Speed, 2-time Trios Championship. Honestly, we were the best tag team in the world for the year that we were together, and I mean that. And it still means a lot to me to see him in the main event tonight take on the best professional wrestler in history, Kenny Omega. And both of us being on the same show in the Bell Center just means the world to me.
Any questions for Speedball?
JPJ with Bodyslam.net. Congrats, Speedball, on the big win. You've
Thank
had a
you.
lot of big moments in this town, in this city of yours. Where does this one rank for you?
Number one, I mean, by far. I keep saying this, but my best match is always my last match, right? Every moment always tops the last one. But I feel like this, by far, my best moment in AEW, and I felt that way the last time I had, a big match, and it just keeps topping each other. And I'm so excited in the future for AEW to keep coming back to the Bell Center, putting on bigger and bigger events, and to make that the best moment of my career every single time AEW comes to Montreal.
Any other questions?
Ash, what's up?
I just want to ask, how are you planning on beating Cobb Fletcher with the entire Don Callis family on his side?
Yeah, so how do I plan on beating Cal Fletcher? So he and I, 1-1, right? The first time was the Continental Classic, and I beat Cal Fletcher, straight up. And that's what I love about the Continental Classic. My favorite season, my favorite matches. It was my favorite to watch, and it's my favorite to participate in, because all you get is the best wrestlers in the world doing the best wrestling. And when it came down to it, wrestling in the ring, me versus Cal Fletcher, I won. When we had the rematch, it was heading very much in that same direction. And the one thing that was different was that, unlike the Continental Classic, the Don Callis family wasn't barred from ringside. And that's been the story of my last few big singles matches, right? Against Jake Doyle, against Mark Davis. I'm up there, I'm going. And then I look to my left, and I see Rocky Romero. I look to my right, I see, Kyle. I see Don Callis in the corner, on commentary, people running in. And that's again, that's the story and the problem with the Don Callis family. Great wrestlers. Every single member of the Don Callis family is one of the world's best wrestlers. I mean, Kyle Fletcher, Mark Davis, Okada, Trent, Rocky, formerly Andrade, no longer, right? And they're all doing great, hugely successful. But how does the story always end? What does Don Callis do? He helps them in the short term, right? He's loving Kevin Knight right now. We'll see how long that lasts. And so, while it is a disadvantage that Kyle has the Don Callis family with him, I think that's a very, very fragile advantage.
That's a great answer.
Yeah, that makes sense? Yeah,
Makes sense.
good,
It
good.
makes sense.
Okay, great.
No, and I appreciate what you said too. I think you've had classic matches, and it's a great point. In the Continental Classic, when it was one-on-one with no outside interference, you did get the better of it in a classic.
Great.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Mike.
Hello, here, Jean-François Kelly, Les Rois de l'Arène. For me, Mike Bailey is simply the best wrestler right now in professional wrestling. And you are a very nice person, a nice human being. Can you have some words in French for the Quebec audience?
Ça va me faire toujours plaisir de parler français. Honnêtement, c'est drôle parce que quand j'ai commencé à lutter, on parlait seulement de, au mieux, être le meilleur à Montréal. Des fois, être le meilleur lutteur au Québec. On parlait rarement d'être le meilleur lutteur au Canada. On parlait jamais, en 2005, au Québec, de devenir le meilleur lutteur au monde. Puis j'ai toujours eu un problème avec ça. Ça m'a toujours dérangé. D'être avec des bons lutteurs, des excellents lutteurs québécois, mais qui n'avaient pas l'aspiration de devenir les meilleurs au monde. Puis je suis content que ça ne m'ait pas arrêté. Je suis content que j'ai continué à persévérer. Puis même quand j'ai été banni des États-Unis, puis que j'ai réalisé que ça allait être beaucoup plus difficile pour moi d'être le meilleur lutteur au Québec, parce qu'il y a beaucoup de places où je n'aurais pas pu aller. Mais ça ne m'a pas arrêté. J'ai décidé, je vais aller au Japon, je vais aller en Europe, je vais aller au Mexique, je vais devenir le meilleur lutteur au monde. Puis je suis ici où les meilleurs luttent. And I'm here where the best wrestle. Right? That was very long, but basically... No, I can say it back in English. Basically, it's very difficult, right, if you start in Quebec. This is Quebec Wrestling in 2005 when I started, before social media, when there was only one major promotion that really didn't have any wrestlers whose first language wasn't English, who didn't look around the world for the best wrestlers, just hired whoever they wanted, whoever fit a very specific mold. And as someone from Quebec who didn't fit that mold, the entire province, no one wanted to make it outside of Quebec because it just seemed so unlikely, which makes sense. Everyone wanted to maybe be the best wrestler in their city, possibly the best wrestler in Quebec, but no one aspired to be the greatest wrestler in the world. And now here I am, All Elite Wrestling, we're the best wrestler. And I can't quite say that I'm the best wrestler in the world yet, because I don't have the gold to prove it. But after tonight, Grand Slam, August 5th, I get to take the International Championship from Kyle Fletcher. And that is the perfect title for me. International Champion. I said this before my first title shot in AEW Dynasty last year in Philadelphia. It was me, Kenny, and Ricochet for the International Championship. And that is the championship that I wanted because I see myself as an international pro wrestler. I'm great because of Quebec, because of all the wrestlers here that prepared me to go around the world and take what's best from every single wrestler in every other country and bring it back to AEW. And it's to represent Quebec and what it's like to be from here that I need to beat Cal Fletcher for the International Championship. You want to go? No. No, go here.
I mean, whenever you're done.
Okay, yeah.
So I thought I would just come out here if that's cool with you.
Okay. Yeah, great. Any other questions?
Any other questions? Wow. Joel, really?
Yeah, I'll just stand here. I would ask.
Joel,
Sure.
no, go right
ahead,
ahead.
Joel.
Don't be shy.
Yeah, Kyle.
Don't be
let
shy.
Kyle.
Sorry, Kyle. This
No, it's all good.
a bit of a history. Hi.
Hi, Joel.
You've mentioned your background in the Montreal wrestling scene in 20 years. And this weekend, there were Montreal-based wrestlers all over the place working here tonight and also on the independents this weekend. Talk to me about your experience coming back and seeing what the independents in Montreal have become since you moved up in the international ranks, so to speak, and working with AEW and beyond.
It's incredible to see the whole scene grow, right? And I think when I started, there were very few guys, and there was like, it took Sexy Eddie, Kevin Steen, El Generico, guys that we miss dearly, to go out and make a path for themselves in the wrestling world, right? Which they did because there was not a place for them to wrestle at the time. So they had to make their living as independent wrestlers internationally. And I think that I'm very happy that, you know, I saw a lot of people who were doing extra work today that I trained, with other people. But from my time teaching at the IWS, they were there and they've been traveling the world, making great careers for themselves in pro wrestling. And that, to me, is the most important part. That is what I want to do, is inspire people, bring people up. And I was saying this at Comic-Con just yesterday, but I truly believe that pro wrestling is a force for good. And that, in some strange way, becoming a pro wrestler can help people become better versions of themselves, right? And I think it's great to see. And I think someone like Kyle Fletcher is a great example of that. You know, started in Australia at 15 years old, 14 years old, 14. Right? 14 years old. Just took it up on himself to go to England and live in a house in Wolverhampton with like 12 other wrestlers, right? Being miserable, receiving $30 to wrestle for Andy Quildan for years, right? And then New Japan, and then finally getting here, international champion, top of the world in All Elite Wrestling, only to be held down by Don Callis ultimately. And that part is unfortunate. That part is very unfortunate.
That being said, it's your hometown. This was a great moment for you tonight. You brought up the Comic-Con. I've already been a part of one press conference brawl involving Kyle Fletcher this week, and I would ask you guys to please contain yourselves, and also I don't want the liability. I'm still dealing with the liability from Comic-Con. Thank you.
Well, we do get that match. We know Grand Slam Mexico City. We will get to see Speedball get his shot at that international championship with Kyle Fletcher. 2 weeks.
Thank you very much, Speedball.
Thank you, Speedball.
Thank you so much, Tony.
Kyle, just come around this way. Come this way.
I'm waiting for him. Let's go.
All right.
It's okay. He's not good. It's all good. I'm not gonna shake your hand. I'm not gonna shake your hand. I can't shake my hand. I can't shake your hand after sitting here and listening to what you said. Sorry. So I will see you in Mexico. Thank you. Goodbye. Okay. Thank you. Goodbye. Thank you. Goodbye. See you later. Goodbye. It's my turn. Go sit. I'm waiting for you to go. I'm waiting. Okay. Whatever. He's getting started. I'll go over here now. See you later, people. Hi, everybody.
Hi, Kyle.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Speedball.
Thank you, Speedball.
I appreciate you being very mature, Kyle.
I tried my best.
You did very well.
I mean, you did.
I did okay.
You did actually really, really well. Really well. You're having a great week.
Kyle, a big congratulations to you retaining the
Thank you.
championship. You and Bandito absolutely tore the house down tonight physically. Where are you right now?
Not feeling fantastic. I can't say I feel great, but it's one of those sorenesses that I still feel rewarded from. It's like battle scars or battle wounds. Like I still feel proud of myself for tonight, although I am in some physical discomfort. Yes.
Glutton for punishment.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
You know me.
So good. It was so good.
All right, let's open up the floor for questions for Kyle Fletcher.
Kyle, how are you?
Fantastic.
It's Matt from Watch Mojo, and I talked with Kyle earlier. I'm glad Tony's here because I posed the question, what celebrity would you like to challenge? His answer, I loved his answer. It was Tom Holland, Spider-Man.
You're going to challenge Tom Holland?
Yes, he is.
And
Wow.
All In is Tom's home country. I mean, that seems pretty exciting to me. Would you like to double down on
Sounds like a question for somebody else at this
Yeah,
table.
I don't know about that.
I don't know about that.
I don't know about that.
Yeah.
I think we'll
He's
keep
grumpy at me that
wrestlers
I-
versus wrestlers
Yeah.
sounds really good.
Okay, maybe special guest referee, maybe?
We'll see. Well, maybe on the street.
That's great.
Hey Kyle, congratulations. Josh Marcos with the Ariel Helwani Show. You and Bandito spent years climbing the same international ladder from independence to New Japan and all over the world. However, your careers never really intertwined into 1v1 matchup before.
Yep.
So did tonight kind of feel like that writing the end of a chapter book that you never really got to finish?
No, it doesn't feel like. Sorry, I'm tall. Sorry, it really doesn't feel like the chapter's closed there at all. Bandito is someone that I got to watch from afar. Well, not from afar for a long time, and now close by for a little while. And I think last year he was by far one of the best in-ring performers in the entire world. So I think, it was always in the back of my head that I hoped we would cross paths at some point. I always like being in there with people that push me to be my best. And I think you saw tonight he really did push me to be my best. I had to be my best to beat him. But like you said, that was the first time we've ever had a singles match. And it feels like there is a lot of chemistry there somehow. So I hope it's not the end of a chapter anyway.
It was awesome.
Hello, sorry. It's
All
hard to
good.
see.
Hi, Kyle. Riley Jabor, K-Rock 1057, Rogers Sports and Media. You talked about people that push you to be your best and tension, chemistry. Let's talk about the Don Callis family, which we've heard a lot about from Speedball Mike Bailey just moments ago. There seems to be both chemistry and perhaps some tension growing between yourself and Okada. Would you like to comment on that?
Yes, I think there is probably going to be some tension after someone rainmakers you in the face when they definitely should not have been doing so. So I think we will see how things play out. There will probably have to be some hard sit downs and some hard discussions before the next time we have to team up together. But I think we're strong enough to get through these differences, I would like to say. So we will see what unfolds.
That was the first time you were pinned all year in 2026.
Don't remind me. Thanks to Okada. Thanks, buddy.
I'll take one more question for Kyle.
Hi, Kyle. How's the one?
Hey, what's up?
Yeah, what's up? Quick question. You dress so well. Do you have a stylist or you just have swag? I got a very serious question tonight.
I wish I had a stylist. I wish I could give someone else credit, but I will take all the credit for myself. Thank you very much. Every single day, dress myself head to toe.
He does a great job.
Like a good grown adult man.
Dressed like a real wrestling champion.
Yes, sir.
Well,
all
Kyle,
right.
our international champion, you can strut
you.
your ass on out of
Congratulations.
here.
Congratulations. Way to go.
Thank you, boss. Okay. Thank you, Renee.
Congratulations.
you.
What a match. What a match, Kyle.
Thank you. It brings brings me so much joy to welcome on our next guest, the AEW Women's Champion, Willow Nightingale. It's weird to have her come out without the music. You need the music.
Hello, how are we?
Hi.
Renee, lovely to see you over there.
Lovely to see you.
All right,
Let's go,
last time I
champ.
tried to do this, I knocked the stand over.
You're a little
But
tricky.
tonight you did it perfect. Let's go.
Willow, Tekla put you through it tonight. You came out on top, all in, just around the corner. You now hold the top prize. What's going through your mind?
Honestly, what I keep thinking is when I was an indie wrestler and I used to work at a tattoo shop, I remember I came home one night a little intoxicated and I was talking to my little sister and I was giving her like this pep talk and I was like, whatever you want to do in life, just give it your all and you're going to be the best at that. If you want to be a writer, you could be the top of the books. If you want to be an actress, you could be top of Broadway, whatever. I was like, one day I'm going to be top of the wrestles, which is not a grammatically correct sentence, but that is something that really stuck and she has me saved in her phone as top of the wrestles. And that was the first thing that popped into my mind when I like held it and looked at the title. I was like, this is it. This is that weird thing that I tapped into. I was like, one day I'll be top of the wrestles. So that is what I'm thinking. That's what's going through my mind.
Now I'm going to have to introduce you as that from now forward as well. I'm going to also adopt that. Guys, questions for the champ?
Willow, first, congratulations on winning the title. Everyone back home in Long Island is very proud of you.
Thank
so
you.
when Chris won the title, we talked about her being the first TBS champion to win the world title. You are the first Triple Crown champion for the women in AEW history. How does it feel to not only have that over Chris, but to now be in the history books in AEW?
Yeah, I mean, fascinating thing about this too is that has all been accomplished like within this year. Like I won the TBS title 2 years ago for the first time, but I held the tag and TBS earlier this year. Now the world title. It's really a whirlwind. I love AEW because now it feels a lot more like we've got our legs, we're more established, but it still feels so exciting and new. Like this is the beginning of something so much more, right? Like in my head, I'm like, this is gonna go on, and this is still like, we're just getting started. And to be somebody who is kind of helping lay down that foundation and hitting these marks and achievements at such like a crazy, awesome time, along with people like you were saying, like on the men's side, Kenny and Hangman are like, that is crazy company to be in. That is, so I'm like beside myself, like just like, oh my God, it's surreal. Very, very like surreal in the best way possible. Howdy.
Hi, Kate Davies from Post Wrestling. I had read that you have been diagnosed recently with depression, and I'd be curious to know how you're working through that with both in terms of your recovery from injury and preparing for your match tonight.
So I like will say that it wasn't like a diagnosis. It was very much me just kind of being in a place, and like people have thoughts about self-diagnosis or whatever. I have people that I speak to. We have mental health help here. So that is one great thing about AEW is that we do have a therapist who travels with us and is there whenever anybody needs him. But I went in to record that stuff for Countdown that day, and I was going through it, and I was having a really hard time being Willow and thinking about wrestling. And like, if we really think about it, the past year has been so crazy in like a world sense. Like, who isn't struggling right now? And so they were like, what are your thoughts on this? And I was like, man, like really? I don't know. Like, why do I deserve to be champion? Like, I don't know. This is how I feel. This is what I've been going through. Like, this is all elite wrestling. Like, everybody is the best. We all deserve it. But I guess at the end of the day, this is how I've been feeling, and I've still been showing up. And when the opportunities are there, it doesn't matter how I feel. Like, I have been delivering. If the opportunities are there and I'm winning and showing up, then that shows you that I can do that when I need to. But I do also think, speaking of mental health, like, it's very important, especially being like the happy, smiley girl, to be honest and say, like, that's unrealistic to have that 24/7. Nobody is that all the time. And I mean, I think it is good to strive for a little positivity, to try and allow ourselves some grace when things are tough and say, we all mess up, we all don't feel great, but what is something that can bring me even an iota of joy? And like, wrestling is that for me so much, in being able to do it, watch it, be around it, absorb it, live it. And that really is Willow. But I don't know that I even remember exactly what the question was.
Let me go back. With Double or Nothing being in New York, when the doctors said that you could not wrestle on Double or Nothing, I know that was really hard for you.
Yeah. I mean, my mom and dad are here today. Hey, guys. But I had been like, she got like a whole troop of people to come to Louis Armstrong. And I was like, I was being very stubborn, like, no, we can make this work. We can make this work. I can have this match. And they were like, no, you
couldn't even lift your arm.
Yeah.
You couldn't even lift your arm, and you're trying to say
you're a powerhouse wrestler and you have zero power right now. Tell me how you think you're going to have a match. So that was just like compounded all of it. But I took that as a moment to be like, okay, you're going to be out of it. Let's refocus. Let's try to like really return to ourselves and who we are, and enjoy the parts of life that aren't just wrestling and being on the road all the time. And remember that there's more, and this is all a part of who you are. So that's how I've been managing all that.
Well, thank you for your honesty and vulnerability on that. I know it's not easy to come in and speak about something like that when you don't have a prepared speech on something like that, and you handled it with grace. So thank you. Next question for Willow.
Joel.
Run. Thanks,
Matt.
Hi, Willow. Joel Pearl from Fightful and In the Weeds podcast. I'm curious, because you did mention your injury. I'm wondering about the timeline from your decision to relinquish the TBS title to coming back to win the #1 contendership in the Casino Gauntlet, and of course now winning the Women's World Championship. What was the timeline? What did you think was going to happen? And obviously, it feels like maybe you were back a little bit sooner than planned. Can you take us through it?
Yeah. So for transparency's sake, I had an AC sprain, which is something that I have experienced in my other shoulder a few times, and it wasn't as bad. So in my head, I think that's also why I was like, I'll be good for Double or Nothing. But an AC sprain, an AC injury is also something, I mean, I don't know if what I'm going to say is going to violate HIPAA or anything.
It's your own.
Well, I was going to talk about.
You can say whatever you want about yourself.
One of my good friends who works here had an AC injury, and they had to get surgery and were out for like months and months and months. So it is, depending on the grade or the severity of it, something that could be, all right, you're out for a few weeks, or you're out for like almost a whole year. And ultimately, even if I get to a place where I'm like, I'm feeling better as a human being, cleaning my house or driving, because I had to drive home after I heard it, that was terrible. That was like, I was like, I'm convinced I can drive back from Maryland to New York, which is like a 5-hour drive. I'm like, I can do that. I got like 30 minutes in, and I was like, I have to get a hotel right now. This is impossible. So it was really just kind of like, how do we get to wrestling? how do we rehab this and make sure we're good for this? And we were really fortunate where it wasn't the level of my friend who needed surgery, but it was kind of one of those like, we'll play it by ear and see how it goes. But there's no way you're gonna be able to do the Owen. There's no way you're gonna. For me, I was like, if I'm TBS champ, I want to be defending this whenever an opportunity comes up, whenever there's a challenger. I was like, if I can't do that, I shouldn't be champion. But things went well, fortunately. And so I was like, if the opportunity's there, get me back in. I want it. I want to be there. And I missed the Owens, so this is my chance to get to All In. And here we are. Here we are, almost. I was like, we're a month away, August 30th, but
It's coming. Well, Willow, thank you so much for joining us here, and huge congratulations.
Thank you.
Hey, let's celebrate Wednesday night. Does that sound pretty good?
That sounds good to me.
Let's celebrate the new champion Wednesday night. Congratulations, Willow.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Way to go.
Yeah.
Hey,
Bye, Mom and Dad.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. I really do.
You want to hug it? Oh, let's go, champ.
Hug it, TK.
Thanks, champ.
Thank you.
Thank you, champ. Yeah, let's do it.
Tony.
And we're into the Renee and Tone Zone.
Here we are, the Renee and Tone Zone. We are locked in.
Thank you
oh,
very
sorry.
much.
No, thank you. To move your
thank
water
you
out of
very
the way
much,
on
buddy.
you.
We, I thought, had a great pay-per-view in my own personal opinion. Thank you all for being here. It means a lot. And now I'll stay and answer questions. Anybody who didn't get to answer or ask a question, get one of their questions answered, I will answer questions for everybody who wants to ask.
Who's got what? Fire them up.
Lots of hands.
I know.
This is going to be fun.
Tony, Alan Owens here. You have one of the largest platforms in professional wrestling, yet you use it to spotlight a lot of legends in the game. We had the Rougeaus here. We had the Von Erichs at All In. You have a whole entire cup named after Owen Hart. And a lot of times people say you just do it for brownie points. But when we were at the 2300 Arena, we had Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert, which was completely off air. You brought out all these legends and stuff like that. We had Sting come through, Jeff Jarrett. What makes it so important for you to spotlight all these legends in the game?
Well, I think each is a specific situation, and when you go to some of these great cities, it's really important to pay respect, in my opinion, to some of the legends of wrestling who made it possible. And in certain cases, these are actually the promoters who promoted wrestling in those towns. So when we've been in Memphis, we've honored a lot of the great legends of Memphis many years ago and brought Dave Brown for the ceremony, and Dave Brown even called a match on Dynamite. We had Dave Brown calling Kenny and Hangman against Private Party. We had so many of the great legends. Like you said, we've had the Von Erichs in Texas, and a great tribute there, but also had Dustin Rhodes involved, a great legend there himself, another legendary wrestling family. So many great legends. It was fantastic to have the Rougeaus here tonight in Montreal. I thought that was excellent. You mentioned Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert and his brother Doug, and even bringing in Jeff Jarrett and Hot Stuff's old partner, the Stinger, in Philadelphia. That was something that I really wanted to do, being in the 2300 Arena. I don't think the legacy of Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert gets talked about nearly enough, and he's somebody that was a big influence on me, so I really wanted to have that moment in Philadelphia. Just like when we've been in these towns, I think it's great to pay respect to the legends who paved the way in these different cities for wrestling, in these different promotions all over the world. Sometimes they don't get their due, and it was really nice to have the Rougeaus here tonight. They were wonderful to deal with. And I was talking to Ray after the show. He said he hadn't thrown that kick in almost 40 years, and he had such a great time. And
still got it.
Yeah, he did. It was great. So thank you for asking, and I love being able to honor the history of professional wrestling here in AEW anytime we can do that. Thank you. Oh, you don't have to do that. You never have to clap. You guys don't have to do the clap. You guys are the working media. You don't have to do that. No, I'm serious. No. It's like you're working media. You're doing a great job. Thank you. I respect what you do. Thank you. And please, with that, I'll keep answering your questions. God bless you.
Hi, Tony. Davey Portman from Poison Runner Pod. When AEW started, you were doing 4 pay-per-views a year, and now it seems we're at the point where it's almost monthly. What challenges did you find booking this pay-per-view when trying to promote the biggest pay-per-view of the year in just a few weeks in Wembley?
I think there were so many moments tonight that helped pave the way to Wembley, and they were huge moments that set the stage, including, as it stands right now, announcing 3 of the big championship fights, 3 world title fights that we came out of the pay-per-view strongly promoting. A lot of things can still happen between now and Wembley, but there were great moments tonight, including Willow Nightingale capturing the world title. The last match of 2025, Willow Nightingale defeated Mercedes Moné, and that was the last time we saw Mercedes here for a long time. And now to see them back under these circumstances, I'm really excited about Willow Nightingale versus Mercedes Moné as it stands right now, going into Wembley Stadium for the world title. Adam Copeland and Christian Cage, 2 great legends of wrestling here in their home country of Canada, defeated 2 of AEW's great stars from many, many years. And I thought another great match with Cope and Christian retaining the titles. Very excited about that. And of course, the Young Bucks, what a night for them. A lot of intrigue tonight. And certainly one thing that I know I'm excited for is Young Bucks versus Cope and Christian. As it stands right now, that's the World Tag Team Championship match. Young Bucks have earned that right, and I'm very excited. That's a match I've wanted to see for years, and Cope and Christian retain the championships, and that's why I thought it was perfect to announce that huge match for the first time ever. In my personal opinion, 2 of the greatest tag teams I've ever seen in my life, Cope and Christian and the Young Bucks for the Tag Team Championship at Wembley Stadium. And then, of course, Will Ospreay won the Owen. We know coming out of Forbidden Door, Will Ospreay was going to challenge for the world title. Kenny Omega did retain the championship. I thought Kevin Knight was absolutely fantastic, and he proved to me and proved, I think, in that match, in my opinion, he absolutely belongs in the main event scene, that he is a great champion. He's been a great TNT champion, a great World Trios champion. I agreed with a lot of the things Speedball Mike Bailey said about Kevin Knight. I think he's destined to be one of the very great stars and already is a top star in wrestling and has done so well. And there have been a lot of injuries and a lot of circumstances that along the way led to some changes in plans, and time after time the AEW wrestlers have been fantastic, and it's very exciting, I thought, to have a great pay-per-view show coming off such momentum for AEW. The last few pay-per-views have also been outstanding. The pay-per-view buys are tremendous, and the viewership of AEW TV is some of the best we've ever had. I mean, right now, when you look, considering it's been years since we had 3 straight weeks of TBS with over 700,000 live viewers on TBS, but also years ago when we had that, we had no viewers on TBS and HBO Max at the same time. And now we have this great streaming platform and have added viewers since then. So I really believe this is one of the greatest periods for AEW in terms of the quality of the shows, but also the momentum of the promotion. There's a lot of exciting business metrics, and I'm more excited for the future of AEW and the things we can achieve than I've ever been before. Thank you.
Hi, Kate Davies from Post Wrestling. There are a number of performers who've been having visa issues with performing in the United States. I know that some of those seem to have been resolved. Who is still being affected by that, and how close do you think the visa problems are to being dealt with?
What a great question. We just got Beast Mortos and Commander. Mark Davis was quicker. We had some of the wrestlers in Mexico for a long time and have dealt with a lot of those. Obviously, Commander and Beast Mortos just came back. El Clone just came back. So those are all just in the last week that have returned. And Commander, I guess, the week before that for the Brawl in the Ballpark with his successful return to Minnesota at that great event. So over the last few weeks, we've had some of the wrestlers from Mexico coming back. We do still have a few obstacles, but really we've overcome a lot of those and have brought a lot of the wrestlers back. So not as many of those challenges as there were a few weeks ago, but thankfully we're very grateful to all those wrestlers being back with us. Thank you.
Hey, Tony. It's Matt from Watch Mojo. Congratulations. Great show tonight. The crowd was so hot. We at Watch Mojo, we like to rank things. That's kind of our deal. I'm curious what Tony Khan's top 3 highlights from AEW Redemption is. Give me your top 3. 3, 2, 1. What are they?
Well, I have to say, there were on a night of a lot of great highlights. I think there were so many. I rather than keep everybody here all night while I try to go through the whole pay-per-view, I would say, like, it's a great question, but there were so many great things about this pay-per-view, and rather than try to rank them or disrespect anybody by leaving them out, I just think people should watch the show. It was a really tremendous show, top to bottom. There were a lot of great moments on the show, several new champions, and a lot of big stakes going into Wembley Stadium. And some really great moments, in my own opinion, on the show tonight. And like you said, the crowd was red hot, and there were a lot of great moments. That beauty's in the eye of the beholder, but I thought there were some great moments tonight. I'd have to think about that rather than on the spot, and rather than keep everyone here all night, I'll punt on that one. Thank you.
Hey Tony, Josh Markowitz with the Ariel Helwani Show. I want to ask, tonight marks the 48th AEW pay-per-view, 48 pay-per-views down. If you were to go back and give your 2019 self a piece of advice as a booker, as a businessman, whatever it is, if you were to go back and give yourself in May of 2019 some advice, what would you say?
Good question.
That's a great question. I really have to think, and rather than keep everybody here, I think there's a lot of lessons, and over 7 years you learn a lot. So rather than try to condense it all into one thing, I would say I've learned a lot of things, and I wouldn't go back and change anything, because you can't go back in time. I always talk about time cop. You can't go back in time and change all these experiences. I think these experiences got us to this point. There's a lot of things I wish had been different. I wish Brody Lee was still with us. I wish Jay Briscoe was still with us. But of the things in my control, I think AEW's grown a lot. It's changed a lot, and I have changed a lot. And those experiences have been formative. Even losing Jay, and I would gladly trade all the things I've learned to have Jay here, but I learned a lot after that. And I probably changed more from that experience of losing a friend and somebody that I wish I could have gotten to know even better, that I was really bonding with and really clicking with, and I think was one of the best wrestlers I ever worked with, and I only got to do 3 things with him, and I'll never forget the last time I saw him, and then I never saw him again. And the lessons he teaches me, and he's still with me, and he's still with all of us. And then thinking about John, about Brody, and I learned a lot from him, and I think the best show we've ever done was the tribute we did to him, and that was a fitting tribute, and it was the least we could do for him. And I wish they were both here, and all I can say is, they're both still with us, and the things I've learned along the way, whether it was after losing John, and as a result, we all came together and did the best show we ever did as a tribute to him, and to lose Jay, and I think the best thing I can say is I think I'm a much, much better person for the lessons I've learned from Jay and from Mark. Thank you. God bless you.
Hi, Tony, Ash. Hey. With the success of AEW Redemption tonight, do you plan on coming back? If so, when?
I would love to come back to Montreal. I would love to bring another pay-per-view back here, and also to bring the AEW television back here, because we made a great TV debut. I love having Montreal be one of the Continental Classic towns. It's a great, great town for wrestling, and I am excited to come back. I'd love to come back, and I know it's our first pay-per-view here, but after the performance tonight, I can promise it will not be the last pay-per-view here. We will definitely be back here for TV and pay-per-view, but in the meantime, I hope the next time we bring TV here, people will turn out and support us, because the first TV we did was fantastic here. So, yeah, well, thank you. It was Continental Classic season. It was great.
Also, Montreal in the summer, beautiful.
It was really, really great.
It's real nice.
It was tremendous. This was a great time to come here. It was beautiful, beautiful, and it was great being here. Obviously, when we were in the Continental Classic, it was in the dead of winter, so it was a very different experience for the wrestlers in Montreal.
I lost my battery. I had no batteries left on my phone after.
Uh-oh. Mine's about to die right now,
I still have
actually.
something. Thank you for, because I'm handicapped, so I can't seat well. So you guys give me a booster seat, which is really helpful. At other shows, I won't mention, I had no help. So really, thank you for your team for.
That's the least we could do. No, thank you for
Really
being here.
appreciate
No, I
guys.
appreciate you being here. Really, I
love what
appreciate
you
being
done for
here.
the business. You signed my friends, and I love your show. Thank you very much.
God bless you. Thank you very much.
Thank
Thank you. Thank you for that. Hi. Yeah, with the
You guys
Bullet
made,
Club?
you guys made
Bullet
eye
Club right
contact.
here.
I think you got to commit.
How's it going, Tony? Lou Puglisi from Big LP Wrestling. Last year at All In Texas, you guys held a joint interactive fan experience with StarCast, and you guys also had AEW karaoke, which I was a part of. Had a really great time. Are there plans down the road at future pay-per-views to have these type of interactive fan experiences?
Well, I believe in All in London there will be interactive experiences on Friday and Saturday before the show on Sunday. It's the bank holiday weekend in England, so for anybody who can make it over, you are all here in the Commonwealth. So we'll be going back to England, and I can't wait. I love England so much, and London is a home to me, and it's one of my favorite places in the world, and we'll be having some great events there around All In, and hopefully more to come like that at some of the major AEW events.
What's your karaoke song if you were to jump up there? What do you hit?
Suspicious Minds by
Oh, good to know. Noted.
That's right. That is a good question. That is a good question. I will do a Suspicious Minds.
Hi, Tony. Braden from Poison Rana here. I loved the fact that we started an hour early today, 7 p.m. I know we have All In for international audiences. It'll be different, but in Toronto, we had a daytime show as well once. I was just wondering if you ever toying with moving times around with
Well,
the
I
paper.
like this. I thought this was great because I made sure to get the show over before midnight Eastern, and we did a great job. And here we are in the Scrum, and so it was an earlier start time than most of our pay-per-views, and also an earlier end time than a lot of the pay-per-views. So I thought that was tremendous, where the show's over before midnight on the East Coast and over before 9 p.m. on the West Coast. I think that was excellent for everybody here. And also I did a little bit less action to start, where there was, 11 matches, but also a lot packed into the main pay-per-view card. So you felt like you got a lot of value for your dollar, whether it was an American dollar or Canadian dollar. And I did think that it was an excellent, excellent pay-per-view, and we certainly put a lot into the main card. That's why I wanted to start it earlier. And I felt like bell to bell for the action, it was in line with what you'd expect in terms of having awesome matches and so much great wrestling in the pay-per-view, but also over here well before midnight. Thank you.
Hi, Tony. Joel Pearl, Fightful and In the Weeds. Back when my AEW was announced, there was a piece in the press release that mentioned an AEW podcast network. With the recent news of SiriusXM having a new partner, has that kind of increased the not only likelihood but also the movement on an AEW podcast network?
We've been working on it. We're still planning the AEW podcast network with our friends, and that is coming. So that's been in the works for quite a while, and it's still in the works. So it's going to be very good. I'm looking forward to the AEW podcast network as we've been planning for a while. So that's going to be excellent. Thank you. Thank you.
Hey, Tony. Riley Jabor from Rogers Sports and Media. You mentioned earlier Brawl in the Ballpark, and AEW has kind of built a bit of a reputation for running wrestling in venues that maybe aren't traditionally thought of as wrestling venues. Since we are here in Montreal, in Canada, are there any Canadian venues that would fit that list that you've thought of that are not traditionally thought of as homes for professional wrestling?
Well, let me ask you a question that could serve two purposes for me. What are the best golf courses in Montreal? What's the best golf?
I'm a terrible
out there?
golfer. Somebody
Anybody
else
know a
take
good
this.
golf course out here? Because then that'd be good. What's the best golf course out here? Do you know?
There's one in Kanawagi, a native reserve.
Yeah?
I know a few people that can help you.
That's good. Well, because we can do Fairway to Heaven for the first time ever, because we had Fairway to Hell, which I thought was a great show, and Fairway to Hell was a tremendous event. It's first ever AEW Redemption tonight. Earlier this year, we had the first ever Fairway to Hell, crowned a new national champion, Mark Davis, who held the title up until tonight. Great match, Mark Davis and Jack Perry. Tremendous night of wrestling. Darby Allin versus Pac. It was an awesome show, and I'm excited to do another Fairway to Hell. So I am looking for a good golf course, and next time maybe we can even do outdoor. And also, I think in conjunction with Fairway to Hell, we can have a charity golf tournament, because I agree with many of the things Speedball Mike Bailey said, particularly the ones in English. And that I think wrestling can be a force for good, and I'm really looking forward to having an opportunity next time we do Fairway to Hell to add the charity golf tournament, Fairway to Heaven. And I've been getting tuned up and using it as a good excuse to play some golf. Thank you.
You have been busy on the golf course.
I have been playing. I played more this year than I have in years combined because we're getting tuned up
You
for.
deserve a
I
little
think
leisure time.
It's the only time to not, to
Yeah.
get stressed about anything. So it's occasionally going out there, and I like to walk.
Yeah. What else we got for Tony?
Hey, Tony, Sully Khan from Slam Wrestling. First off, great show tonight.
Thanks, cuz.
I was about to say, this much con in one room, I don't know if people are ready for it.
Ready. I'm ready.
What was the most exciting part for you in putting together a pay-per-view for the first time, inaugural pay-per-view?
Oh, so fun. There were so many things unplanned. I talked about Mystico getting hurt. I planned for Mystico to be involved in this show, and then there was concern that he might have to be held back, and then we did end up holding him back. And I'm optimistic. Hopefully, Mystico can come back for Grand Slam Mexico, but he has been out of action since he was attacked at Arena Mexico, and then we were holding out hope he might be back. He wasn't. There were a number of other injuries and things along the way. There have been so many injuries and obstacles with the women and the men with injuries, and the great thing about having in my personal opinion, is such an amazing roster of wrestlers is the depth and the way they've stepped up, and you've seen multiple women and men step into positions based on injuries, based on changes, whether it was somebody got hurt, there was visa issues, all these things that have happened along this past year. Tonight, everybody stepped in and did, I thought, just in my opinion, a fantastic job. I enjoyed all 10 matches. It's just my opinion. I really loved the pay-per-view, and I think we're having a great year of pay-per-view and television. We're having a great year of business, certainly, on pay-per-view and television. And it was the first redemption, but it was also a very special night. It was a unique position we were in tonight, having the opportunity to have a debut pay-per-view in an incredible city like Montreal, the first pay-per-view ever in Montreal, the first ever AEW Redemption. So many of the great Canadian AEW stars really showed out tonight, but really top to bottom, so many of the women and men from all over the world showed out tonight. Also, a couple of great American women winning championships. Great to see a real Latino man as a national champion. And I thought it was an awesome, awesome night of wrestling. And for a first ever AEW Redemption, I think we set the bar very, very high. And for a number of wrestlers who had a shot at redemption coming off what's happened to them in recent months, they followed through, and I thought that was really cool. So I enjoyed it very much. Thank you for asking. And it is nice to have another con in here. Could be a lot worse.
Hi, Tony. Michael Patika, Fanatics View. Just a question. You announced Full Gear. I'm just wondering, are we getting an announcement about Wrestle Dreams soon? And if possible, will there be maybe a third Canadian pay-per-view this year?
I can't speak to the next pay-per-view in Canada, but I'll definitely be bringing more great pay-per-views to Canada because so far, what a showing from Canada. Here in Montreal, in Vancouver, and of course in Toronto, we've had great support, and Montreal really showed out tonight. So there are multiple cities here in Canada that have proved they can host great pay-per-views, and Canada is such a great country for wrestling. So many of the great Canadian wrestlers, again, Kenny Omega, Speedball Mike Bailey, Cope and Christian, Chris Jericho, so many of them showed out tonight, and it was a really great night in my personal opinion. And a lot of wrestlers, ones that have been in AEW from the very first show, and a lot of them that have signed with us just in the past year or two, really stepped up tonight, and I'm very excited about All In. I do think that here in Canada, there's a lot of great places for pay-per-views, even if it isn't going to be in the remaining few that we do announce for 2026. I know in years to come, this great country of Canada will be a great home to many AEW pay-per-views for years to come. Thank you.
Love to hear it.
Yeah, let's go.
I love it.
Speaking of the great Canadians, Canada's sweetheart right here. Let's go.
Trying to keep up my status around
Let's go.
here. Any other questions for Tony, guys?
Hi, my name is Jean-François Calais from Les Rois de la Reine. Tony, can I perceive that you are a great supporter of the indie scene? Mike Bailey talked briefly about it, the Montreal indie scene. Do you know what's going on in the Quebec indie scene personally?
I am not as schooled. Having been here, I've talked to Mike about it a bit. Some of the great legends from Quebec have either wrestled in AEW or Ring of Honor or both. And it's a great tradition that Mike talked about very eloquently. I'm not as familiar. When we come to the cities, I like to come in. Now, we've had a very busy week of shows all over, and because I had to go to the Comic-Con, I wasn't able to settle in, which was a great experience that Warner Brothers gave us the opportunity to do the San Diego Comic-Con. But I just flew in from San Diego, so I didn't get to go to all the indie shows in advance of this show. You know, a great experience in Australia, for example, is I went and checked out the company where Mark Davis and Kyle Fletcher got their start, and it was tremendous. And when I'm in England, I like to go see the Rev Pro shows and check out other indies that I've seen around England. When I am in Canada, I would really like to get out and go to more of the indie shows. And honestly, because we had the Comic-Con, I was flying in, and I spent basically all of yesterday on a plane. So it would, be something I am very interested in, is seeing some of the independent wrestling here in Quebec. I really enjoyed the experience working with MLP and working with Scott, and we did the show in Windsor, Ontario for the Global Wars with ROH and Maple Leaf, and I had a lot of fun doing that. I always enjoy working, it's fun doing the shows on my own, but it's fun working with other people for a show like Forbidden Door with me and Ghetto, or a show like Global Wars at that time working with Scott. Thank you.
Did we do it?
Is there anybody here that still has...
Ash, you got another one?
And we got a couple more, it looks like.
It is Ash. Did I get that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Anybody that didn't go first before we get to that?
We'll get to, and we'll make sure everybody gets to ask a question.
I feel like asking one about Kenny Omega. Because, more specifically, because you just talked about how, actually Speedball was talking about how he's one of the best in the world, or he is the best of all time, I think he said. And he's about to main event Wembley. I don't think he's ever got a chance to headline a stadium outside of New Japan. And I think this is a really big moment for him, too. And for myself, I grew up with a sense of national pride, knowing Bret Hart was like the best wrestler in the world. I still feel that same sense with Kenny Omega now. Can you talk about what he means to, not just AEW, what does he mean to wrestling right now, going into Wembley as the main event, as the champion?
Kenny Omega has been instrumental from the very beginning of AEW. I'm so glad you brought him up, because it's because of Kenny Omega there is an AEW. And Kenny Omega really helped prove that there was a market worldwide to support a second worldwide wrestling promotion. And it was at Wrestle Kingdom when Kenny Omega and Chris Jericho wrestled, the kind of business they did, the live house, and also the amount of streaming purchases, it showed everybody, including me, that there really is a market. And I'm a huge believer in it. I watched the match live, and to see the kind of interest, it got me thinking. And it was almost exactly 3 months later, when I was in Beverly Hills, when I had the opportunity to talk to the president at the time of TBS and TNT about bringing a wrestling show back to TBS and TNT, and that show's Wednesday Night Dynamite. And I've been writing Wednesday Night Dynamite shows since I was 12 years old in 1995, 31 years ago as a kid. I wasn't even in high school yet. And I didn't stop. I kept doing it. And long after college, I still would write shows and send them to my one friend, and we would write shows and send them back and forth. And to be honest, Kenny was a big part of those too. And Kenny and Matt and Nick. And then when I had the chance to actually be in this position and to launch a wrestling promotion, it was so important to have the elite involved, and so important to have Kenny. And Kenny Omega is a true founding father of AEW. He's an executive vice president of AEW, but I can tell you there would be no AEW without Kenny Omega. I would not be in this chair. I would not be in the position to be the president of a professional wrestling organization of the caliber of All Elite Wrestling without a great world champion, executive vice president, a friend, and a founding father like Kenny Omega. He's one of the greatest wrestlers, in my own personal opinion, ever to come out of the country of Canada, and I also think he's one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. He's one of my own personal favorites to watch, and it feels like there's people all over the world that feel that way. So to be able to bring this pay-per-view back to his home country and to have Kenny in the main event standing tall at the end, I thought it was very special, and certainly it's a lot of intrigue because Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay, they know each other very, very well. They've battled, they've teamed. They have a very special relationship, and I think we all have a lot to look forward to in the weeks to come and at Wembley Stadium at AEW All In. And I'm very, very grateful for Kenny Omega. Thank you for asking. Bash.
Hi, Tony and Renee. Big fan. Great show tonight. I'm Paul Agricola from Fanatics View. Just had one question before we let you guys go. In the world of video games, there's a lot of anticipation for another AEW Fight Forever 2. Any chance we can get a sequel to that or something else new that could kind of evolve from that?
That's a great question. I've never been the expert in gaming, and I have to say that I would be interested in taking another run in gaming and trying things. We learned a lot from the experience of launching Fight Forever. For a company as young as AEW to have a game on the market, it was a very ambitious project, and absolutely at some point I would be interested. And also we developed other games and platforms. So I do think there are a lot of different ways and different types of games. However, absolutely, I do think that's a great point and a good thought, and something at some point I would be interested in. I would never want to rush into it. And we worked really hard, and also learned a lot from our first foray into gaming. And I do think it'd be something interesting to try again. Thank you. Ash? Yeah.
Hi again, Tony.
Hey, buddy.
Very serious question. What's your drink of choice?
This is coffee.
Coffee?
It's coffee. Water and coffee. A lot of water and coffee.
Okay, that's it. Thanks.
That is very good.
All right, thank you guys all so much for coming out here, joining us for our very first pay-per-view in Montreal. We appreciate you all very much.
Hey, I really do appreciate you all being here, and I don't take it lightly that you're all here and that you all made your way here to cover this show. A lot of you have been covering AEW from the very beginning, and some of you I'm seeing here for the first time. Whether you've been to a lot of these shows and whether you've been covering AEW from the very beginning in some cases, or whether this is your first time here, I really appreciate it. It would not be possible for us to have launched this promotion without the support of the wrestling media covering this and giving us the chance to talk about AEW and what we do. Thank you for covering this, and I appreciate you all who asked questions. I wanted to make sure I stayed so that everyone got to ask something. Thank you, and I hope you all get home safe. God bless you. Thank you.